Hello guys, TAFHD here and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be dismantling this computer. Now if you don't know what this computer is, this was kind of used as my file server for a bit, although it never really worked out how I intended. So today we're going to be dismantling it and I will be selling the components out of it. So as I already said, this is what that computer was, but before that it started off life in a micro ATX case, and it was the CeX Gaming PC that I bought in 2019. I made some videos about that. Then in 2020 it started life in this case. This is the Antec P101. This is a brilliant case, but I've never really managed to get full use out of it. I will be keeping this case because my main PC will be going into here, but that is for another video. There will be videos about my main PC soon. It will be going into here and I need to do some changes to that as well, but that is another subject. So yeah, as I said, this thing is going to be getting stripped down. All the components will be getting sold, apart from the graphics card. That belongs in my old gaming PC, which I will be rebuilding. So that's another thing to stay tuned for in the future. So yeah, I should probably just shut up and start taking this thing apart. The only thing I want to keep out of all this is the graphics card and the case. Everything else can go. Motherboard can go, CPU can go, power supply, RAM, it all needs to go. So I will either be selling it all as a bundle or as separate pieces, like whatever someone wants, I guess. So if you don't know the specs of this machine, I'll turn it around so you can see the inside a bit better. We have a Ryzen 5 2400G in here with just the stock cooler. We have 8GB of value RAM, gets the job done, no complaints there. And the motherboard is an MSI Mortar Titanium B450M. It's a very attractive board, being white. You really don't see many white boards, and it does definitely stand out. It's probably quite a rare board. I don't think there's currently any for sale. I did have a look just to try and work out what it's worth. Honestly, not sure what I'll get for it, but it'll be worth a try just at different price points, because I don't know if people would want it. Does anyone really want a B450 board anymore? I'm honestly not sure, and if they do, they probably would want it for cheap, but this being quite a high-end one for its time, I would want more money for it. But if no one wants to pay more, I'll just have to sell it for cheaper. But honestly, I don't really care how much I get for these bits, I just want it gone, and any extra money would certainly be helpful. So yeah, let's just start by taking this thing apart. And I think the first thing to do is just going to be to unplug everything from the motherboard, because the main bit I want out of this right now is the power supply, just to go in another computer to test it. I'll be putting it in that £5 weird custom built computer I took a look at a few months back, just to see if that posts. Then I'll get rid of that machine, take the power supply back out first, then sell that. But I do need to just check it with this power supply, just so I know what's going on with that machine. But yet again, I'm rambling. I should probably just shut up and start unplugging things. So yeah, let's just start with the power supply cables. And this was built about 3 years ago now in this case, so I don't really remember how anything was cable managed or anything like that. So that shall be fun. And this is a very stuck-in connector, but there we go. That is that. And I think I'm just going to speed up all this because no one really cares about seeing me unplug cables. And one thing I remember about this is that I didn't manage to screw it in with all the standoffs. Haven't got a clue why, but it's not screwed in down there. Probably because there isn't a screw hole. That would explain it. So yeah, that's cool. But I think there is some other ones missing too, but we will discover that once we do take the board out, I'm sure. So what I want to do is just get the power supply out. So I'm just going to pull the cables around the back. It is a semi-modular unit, and I never got all the cables with it when I bought this as the CeX Gaming PC, so that is unfortunate. So I don't have like all the SATA and the Molexes, and I never had enough to really populate all the hard drives in here. That's why I never did, and I couldn't source any replacement cables online. It was just like too much hassle, to be honest. And what I'm now going to do is turn this around so it's easier to see what's going on, because I need to try and untangle what is going on around here. So here's all the SATA from when I had my hard drives in here. The Molex is up here, which is plugged into something. I honestly don't know what. Plugged into power, whatever that's on about. So I basically just need to unplug everything that's connected to everything because it will all be coming apart. And now this is quite a curious way to mount a power supply in my opinion. It's mounted to this back metal and the screws are captive so you can't lose them, I believe. Or apparently not, I thought they were, but they aren't. That's not something to worry about. Then the power supply should just be able to slide out. Yep, there we are, it's now just coming out. So I'll just unplug the modular cables from the back. Those are both for SATA, I believe. I know I've not got the best angle, but I'll now just pull through the cables that are always attached. Alright, so here is the power supply. This is a thermal take unit. It's 550 watts and it is a tough power. And it is a tough power London, whatever that means. If that will focus, you should be able to see the specifics of that there. Don't know why it's called London, but fair play to it for that, I guess. So as you can see, we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 modular cables for this. Here is a Molex one, so that's one, and then here is a SATA. That only makes 2. Now I know for certain that this did come with GPU power, because of course the RX 580 was in here and that uses 2 8-pin connectors. So before I get rid of this, I'm going to have to try and find where on earth those cables are, and quite frankly I've got no idea. So yeah, that shall be fun, I guess, but I need to just take the back mounting thing off here because I will need that for the next power supply that goes in this computer. Quite a cool design for mounting. I think my Be Quiet Pure Base 500 uses a similar mounting idea, although I'm probably wrong because I built that computer in 2019 and I've not even opened it or cleaned it since. So yeah, that's fun. There will be a cleaning and maintenance video about that computer coming soon. It's definitely overdue, I think it's fair to say. So now let's just put that metal plate back on the back, if I can find where the holes line up. There we are, the back plate is back on. Let's spin the machine back around to the front. And what else do we need to do now? I think it's just going to be a case of taking the graphics card out, then the motherboard. I'll leave the CPU and RAM in the board for now because you never know, someone might want to buy it as a set. Or I might have to strip it down later, that all just depends what happens. So I need to take the screw out for the back. And I dropped the screw, but oh well. And this card should be simple enough just to remove. There we are. This is an XFX card, you might be able to see. My camera's focus is absolutely terrible at the moment. I don't know what's gone wrong. It's never been great, but it seems to be getting worse. But this is an XFX Radeon R7 250, I believe, 2GB model. You might think that's good, but actually the 1GB model was better because the 1GB had GDDR5. This is only GDDR3, so somehow this is the worst one to have. I should probably mention, when you're messing with computers, don't do it on carpet like I am. Static is a real thing. Have I ever killed something with static? No. Maybe this would be the first time. There always is a first time for everything. Hopefully I don't kill anything, but yeah, it just so happens to be I don't have any anti-static mats, don't have an anti-static wrist bracelet or whatever, and all the pleasant places where I can film have carpet, so we're just going to have to deal with that, I suppose. And yeah, let's take this motherboard out. I don't think there's anything attached to it that will stop us, so we might as well just start unscrewing it. It's probably a good idea to lie this thing down just so the motherboard doesn't fall out, so you're not really going to be able to see what I'm doing, but just assume I'm unscrewing because that tends to be what you do in order to unscrew things. That sounds really stupid, but it is true. And it looks like not all these screws are even screwed down all the way, so it looks like my attention to detail probably wasn't very good when I was doing this. So that's fun, and this screw doesn't seem to want to come out. Ah, the standoff has come out of the board. That's always helpful. I'll get a close-up of that one in a moment, but I'm just going to remove all the non-awkward ones first, just to try and make it easier. Okay, so this is the final screw. It's screwed into the standoff, but the standoff, yeah, is no longer connected to the case. So we now should be able to just lift this entire board out. I didn't mean to jolt it that much, but yeah, that's fun. But this is such a pretty board, even though it is just a B450. It's not even the higher end chipset, like an X470. So I don't really know why they put so much effort into it, but it is a good looking board, and it's got built-in RGB, which is pretty cool. Alright, so let's see if this board will come out. Don't see why it wouldn't, and there we are. Here it is. Now I need to try and get this standoff off the back of the board. I'm going to try and do this somewhat carefully. You probably can't see what I'm doing because it's right at the edge of frame. Yeah, I'm going to have to get some pliers on this. Okay, so success. I've got the standoff back in the case and off the motherboard. And now we've got a nice motherboardless case. One thing we need to not forget to take is the I/O shield. There we are. It's a very pretty I/O shield. I like it a lot, so that can stay out there. And one thing I've noticed is that we need to put some more standoffs here for ATX. My motherboard that will be going in here in the future is full ATX, so we need to put 1, 2, 3 more standoffs in. So I'll go get those and just put them in now so I don't forget in the future. Also, if I was getting rid of this case, I'd put the top bracket cover in, but in reality I'm going to need to take another 1 or 2 of those out for when I put my new build in here. So for now, that can just stay as it is. Okay, so I nearly did a silly thing and put more standoffs in, which is what I need to do down at the bottom. But looking, because I'll be putting an ATX board in, I need to put a standoff wherever there's an A. But I've currently got standoffs where there are M's because there was a micro ATX board in here before. So wherever there's standoffs that just have an M next to them, I just need to move those into the A's. So that one there, that one there, and that one there, those 3 can just go in the bottom, so I will do that now. Alright, good news, I got the standoffs in successfully. I found the original box with the accessories in it, so the screws and my extra expansion cover, and even more good news, in the box where I thought it would all be, which is quite nicely labelled PC case stuff, I also found the PCI power that is for the Thermaltake power supply. Technically it shouldn't have been in PC case stuff because it's not really PC case stuff, but yeah, I knew where it was and here it is, so that will definitely help with resale. Would have been better if I had all the cables, but this is better than nothing because at least now I've got some Molex, some SATA and some PCIe power, so yeah, it's definitely better than nothing. Alright, so I think that is going to be it. Other than giving this case a clean, it is ready to put my build in once I'm ready to do so. I'm not going to clean it now because it's just going to end up all dusty again by the time I get to use it. But yeah, this is now back to the state it was when I first bought it. All the screws are still here. I've still got all the accessories in the box. I've even still got the original box the case came in. So if I ever want to sell this case, I can do so and hopefully still get quite a lot for it, because you can still buy this case brand new for over £100, I believe. I think I paid about 90 for it 3 years ago. I've barely used it, so I'm really excited to actually get some proper use out of it, and I think I will be able to do that quite well. My main machine will be going in here, and hopefully that machine in this case can keep me going for another good few years. I think it'll be great to finally optimize this case, use its hard drive base, not all of them to start with, but we have room for expansion. And the reason I want to go into this case is because I'm fed up of like all the flashy lights and the showy stuff, because I don't really care about that because it sacrifices practicality My Purebase 500 has got 2 hard drive bays, and they're both just full of cables at the moment for like all the RGB crap. So I can't even put any hard drives in there. I've got some that I want to have internal and I don't want to keep putting them in my hard drive dock. So I'll be able to have them in here, internal, and they should just work. And I think it's just such a cool case, like with the door on the front. And also it has a 5¼ inch bay. I can put a DVD drive in here if I want. At the minute I'm using some kind of rubbishy external USB one. It's crap, but I can put a proper nice drive in here. Maybe a Lightscribe drive, maybe a Blu-ray, who knows. It's all like whatever I want. This is like a proper case. It's kind of old-fashioned. That's like what Antec does, and it's what they always have done. They've always done good cases, and this is like a proper old-style good case. No side windows, so you don't have to worry about cable management and the aesthetics, and it's just good. It's just a good solid case. It's got sound deadening material in it too, so it should be nice and quiet. And yeah, I'm kind of just talking about a load of rubbish here, but it's all true what I'm saying, and that's the reason why I want to use this case. It's been wasted in my ownership so far, but I'm really hoping to get the most out of it, and hopefully I can do that soon. I need to buy a couple of things, and as soon as I've got those, we are good to go using this case. So this power supply will be going once I've done one video with it. Graphics card will go back in its original computer. Here's the I/O shield for the motherboard. So the motherboard, CPU and RAM will be going also, either as a set or as individual pieces. So if anyone's interested in any of these pieces and wants to buy them and you're in kind of the Manchester area, get in touch and maybe we can work out some sort of deal. I'm not sure about prices yet because I'm not really sure what all these components are worth. So I'm going to do a bit of research, work out some prices, and then see what I can do from there, because any money generated from this will be greatly appreciated. Of course, the original CeX Gaming PC 4 years ago cost me £550. I know it's obviously not going to be worth that anymore because it was 4 years ago, and I am still using the RX 580 out of that computer in my main PC. Got no intentions of upgrading that anytime soon. It still does everything I need it to, so there's no need to change. And of course, here are the power supply cables for the power supply. So I think that is where I'm going to leave it for today. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. And this is kind of like a goodbye to these components, because in a way they've been quite a main part of the channel. The CeX Gaming PC was like the first video series I ever had that got like any sort of views. Still not a significant amount, but like it was good to see that people were actually interested in it. Still get comments on that video to this day, the one where I first got the PC. So I think it was a good channel investment, if not a good financial investment, because of course it's now not worth that, but that should be pretty obvious. Of course it's not. But yeah, these components in that machine has like been a significant thing for me, I suppose, without sounding weird. But yeah, I think they have been, and to let them go will be a bit weird just because I've had them for so long, but I've got no use for them, and like there's going to be some big life changes coming soon where I'm going to need the extra money. So yeah, they need to go and be helpful with the money they generate, and hopefully they can go on and be helpful for other people in the future. So yeah, I'm going to shut up now and say again thank you for watching. Hope this was interesting in some way, and I'll see you in the next one, which is probably going to be somewhat PC related. I guess we're going to have to see, but definitely stay tuned to see me building in this case once again. So thank you again, and I will see you later. Goodbye.